The space station called Harmony's Edge floated quietly in the darkness between two star systems. It was built for one purpose: peace talks between different alien races. Today, it would become the place where peace died. Ambassador Minho Park looked out the window at the stars. He had spent 20 years talking to aliens, making deals, and keeping humans safe. Today felt different. Something was wrong, but he could not put his finger on it. "Sir, the Valerian ships just arrived," said Sujin Lee, his young assistant. She was nervous. Her hands shook as she held her datapad. "Chancellor Vrex wants to meet in 1 hour." Minho nodded. The Valerians were tall, gray-skinned aliens with 4 arms and black eyes. They controlled a big part of the galaxy. If humans could make peace with them, it would keep both sides safe. "Where is Taiwan?" Minho asked. "Security Chief Kim is checking the meeting room one more time," Sujin replied. Taiwan Kim had been Minho's bodyguard for 5 years. He was a tough ex-soldier who never trusted anyone. Right now, Minho wished he had listened to Taiwan's warnings about this meeting. The meeting room was large and white. A round table sat in the center with chairs for both humans and Valerians. Minho arrived first with his small team. Sujin sat beside him with her computer. Taiwan stood by the wall, watching everything. Chancellor Vrex entered with 6 other Valerians. They wore long purple robes that covered most of their gray skin. Vrex was old, even for his species. His black eyes seemed to look right through Minho. "Ambassador Park," Vrex said in perfect English, "thank you for coming so far for peace." "Peace is worth any journey, Chancellor," Minho replied with a smile. For 2 hours, they talked about trade routes, mining rights, and territory borders. Everything seemed normal. The Valerians agreed to most of what the humans wanted. It was almost too easy. "I think we can sign the agreement today," Vrex said, standing up. "This will be remembered as a great day for both our peoples." Minho felt relief wash over him. Maybe his bad feeling was wrong. Maybe peace was really possible. Vrex walked to a side door. "I have brought a special gift to celebrate our new friendship. Please, allow me to present it." The door opened, but instead of a gift, armed Valerian soldiers rushed in. They carried energy weapons that glowed blue in the white room. Minho's heart stopped. "Taiwan!" Sujin screamed. The security chief was already moving. He pulled out his plasma pistol and shot the first soldier. The alien fell backward, but more kept coming. Taiwan grabbed Minho and pushed him behind the table. "This is a trap," Taiwan shouted. "They planned this." Energy blasts flew across the room. The white walls turned black from burn marks. Sujin tried to hide under the table, but a blast hit her shoulder. She cried out in pain. Minho reached for his emergency communicator, but a Valerian soldier kicked it away. Another soldier pointed his weapon at Minho's head. "Wait," Chancellor Vrex said, walking slowly toward them. "Let him watch his protector die first." Taiwan was behind an overturned chair, bleeding from his arm. He had killed 3 Valerian soldiers, but more kept coming. He looked at Minho with sad eyes. "Sir, remember what I taught you about survival," Taiwan said. Then he jumped, up and charged at the soldiers. His pistol fired again and again until an energy blast hit him in the chest. He fell and did not move. "No!" Minho screamed. Taiwan had been like a brother to him. Vrex laughed. It was a cold, cruel sound. "Did you really think we wanted peace? With you humans? You spread across the galaxy too fast. You take planets that should belong to us. Today we end your expansion forever." "This will mean war," Minho said, trying to sound brave. "War? With who?" Vrex asked. "We are not just Valerians here today. The Keth Coalition supports us. The Thraxian Republic supports us. Even the peaceful Zanari agree that humans must be stopped. Your colonies are being attacked right now while you sit here." Minho felt sick. This was not just murder. This was the beginning of genocide. "Your people will never know what happened here," Vrex continued. "They will think you died in an accident. By the time they figure out the truth, there will be no humans left to care." But Vrex made one mistake. He did not see Minho's backup communicator hidden in his jacket. With one quick move, Minho pressed the emergency button. A red light blinked. The message was being recorded. "You are wrong," Minho said, looking straight at Vrex. "They will know, and they will come for you." Vrex's black eyes went wide when he saw the red light. "Stop that transmission!" A soldier shot at the communicator, but it was too late. The message was already being sent through hyperspace to Earth. Minho felt the energy blast hit his chest. Pain shot through his whole body. He fell to the floor next to Sujin, who was already dead. Blood filled his mouth, but he kept talking to the communicator. "This is Ambassador Minho Park," he whispered. "The Valerians, they killed us. This was a trap. They wanted war." He coughed up blood. "Tell my wife I love her. Tell my brother to take care of the family." His vision was getting dark, but he had one more thing to say. "They think humans are weak. They think we will give up easy." Minho's voice got stronger, filled with anger. They wanted war. Now they will learn what humanity really is when pushed too far. We are not prey. We are not victims. We are humans, and we protect our own. The red light on the communicator went out. Minho Park, humanity's greatest diplomat, was dead. Chancellor Vrex stood over the body. Destroy everything, make it look like an accident, but it was too late. The message was already halfway to Earth, where it would change the course of galactic history forever. The aliens had wanted to kill humanity's hope for peace. Instead, they had awakened something much worse. They had awakened humanity's capacity for total war. The emergency alarm echoed through the halls of Earth's Global Defense Command. Admiral Hyunwoo Choi ran down the corridor, his uniform still wrinkled from sleep. The message from Ambassador Minho Park had arrived 3 hours ago, and now the most powerful people on Earth were gathering in the war room. President Donghyuk Jang sat at the head of the long black table. His face was pale and tired. Around him sat the leaders who would decide humanity's future. General Seok Jin-oh of the Marine Corps studied the tactical displays. Dr. Yejin Kang from the Xenological Institute looked through alien cultural files. Director Yoonbi Han of Colonial Affairs spoke quietly into her phone, getting reports from human settlements across the galaxy. "Show them the message," President Jang said. The lights dimmed. A hologram appeared in the center of the table. It was Ambassador Minho Park, lying on the floor of the meeting room, blood on his shirt. His voice was weak but clear. Everyone watched in silence as Minho described the trap, the murder of his team, and the alien conspiracy. When the message ended, the room stayed quiet for a long moment. "How many of our colonies have been attacked?" the president asked. Director Yoonbi Han stood up. Her voice shook with anger. 17 colonies across 3 sectors. They hit our mining operations on Kepler 442b. They destroyed the research station on Proxima Prime. They even attacked the farming world of New Sol, where we had families and children. "Casualties?" General Seok Jin-oh asked. "Over 50,000 dead, maybe more. We are still getting reports." Yoonbi sat down hard in her chair. "They planned this perfectly. While Minho was talking peace, they were murdering our people." Dr. Yejin, Kang looked up from her files. This was not just the Valerians. According to the ambassador's message, the Keth Coalition and Thraxian Republic are involved. Maybe others too. They formed a secret alliance against us. "How many ships do they have combined?" President Jang asked. Admiral Hyunwoo had been running numbers on his tablet. "The Valerian Empire has about 8,000 warships. The Keth Coalition has 6,000. The Thraxians have 4,000. If they are working together, we are looking at maybe 20,000 enemy ships." "How many do we have?" 2,000. Maybe 2,500 if we count the colony defense ships. The room went quiet again. The numbers were bad. Very bad. "General Seokjin." Oh slammed his hand on the table. "Numbers do not matter. They murdered our diplomat during peace talks. They killed our families. We have to hit back hard and fast." "With what?" Dr. Yejin Kang asked. "General, we are outnumbered 10 to 1, maybe more. If we attack now, they will destroy every human in space. So what do you suggest? That we surrender? I suggest we be smart. Maybe we can negotiate. Maybe we can find allies. Admiral Hyunwoo shook his head. Who would help us? They clearly think we are a threat. The message was clear. They want to stop human expansion permanently. The door to the war room opened. Captain Jiho Nam walked in, still wearing his spacesuit. He looked exhausted and scared. Captain Nam? President Jang said. Were you not supposed to be on a scouting mission? Yes, sir. I just got back. I have bad news. Jiho sat down at the table. I was near Keth space when their attack began. I saw their fleet movements. Sir, this is worse than we thought. Explain. The Keth coalition has been building weapons for months. Not normal weapons. Weapons designed specifically to kill humans. They studied our biology, our ship designs, everything. They have been planning this for a long time. What kind of weapons? General Seok Jin-oh asked. Biological weapons that only affect human DNA. Energy weapons tuned to penetrate our ship armor, even boarding pods designed to fit through our airlocks. Jiho's hands shook as he spoke. Sir, they have been preparing to commit genocide. Director Yoon-bi Han stood up again. There is more. I just got a message from our spy network. The Zanari Collective officially announced their support for the Alien Alliance 1 hour ago. They are calling it the Galactic Defense Alliance, and they say humans are a plague that must be removed. President Jang closed his eyes. When he opened them, they were hard and cold. How long would it take to activate the Total War Protocol? He asked quietly. Everyone in the room looked shocked. The Total War Protocol was a secret plan created after the first contact with hostile aliens. It would turn Earth's entire civilization into a war machine. Every factory, every resource, every human would be focused on one goal: survival through victory. Sir, Dr. Yejin Kang said carefully, the protocol has never been tested. We do not know if it will work. It will work, General Seok Jin-oh said, firmly. My people designed it. Every human factory can make weapons. Every civilian can be trained to fight. Every resource can be used for war. Admiral Hyunwoo was checking his files. If we activate the protocol, we can have 5,000 ships in 6 months, 10,000 in a year. But sir, this means total war, not just with the Valerians, but with everyone who supports them. They made that choice when they murdered our ambassador, President Jang said. When they attacked our families, when they formed an alliance to destroy us. Captain Jiho Nam leaned forward. Sir, there is something else. I intercepted alien communications during my mission. They think humans are cowards. They think we will surrender when we see how outnumbered we are. They are not prepared for a real fight. President Jang stood up. He walked to the window that showed Earth below. Blue oceans, green continents, white clouds. Billions of humans lived down there. They were counting on this room to keep them safe. They wanted to end human expansion, he said without turning around. Instead, they have guaranteed human expansion across every star in this galaxy. He turned back to face the table. I am activating the Total War Protocol. General O, you have 6 months to build the largest military force in human history. Admiral Choi, you will plan operations against every species that supports this alliance. Dr. Kang, you will study their weaknesses. Director Han, you will coordinate with our colonies to turn them into fortress worlds. Sir, Dr. Kang said quietly, this means we are going to war with most of the galaxy. President Jang's voice was ice cold. They declared war on us first. They just did not expect us to fight back. He looked around the table at each person. They think they know humans. They think we are soft because we prefer peace. They think we are weak because we try to negotiate. His voice got louder. They are about to learn that humans only look weak when we are being nice. The meeting lasted 6 more hours. When it was over, humanity was no longer a species trying to find its place in the galaxy. It was a species preparing to remake the galaxy entirely. The aliens had wanted to kill humanity's hope for peace. Instead, they had created humanity's promise of war. 6 months after Ambassador Minho Park died, the galaxy learned what humans had been building in secret. The first shock came at Kepler Station, a Valerian military outpost near the border of human space. Captain Minseok Park stood on the bridge. of the dreadnought Eternal Fury, watching the enemy base through the view screen. Min-seok was Minho's younger brother, and he had volunteered to lead the first major attack. "Sir, we have 15 Valerian warships defending the station," reported his tactical officer. "They are moving to intercept us." "Good," Min-seok said. "Let them come. It is time to show them what we built while they were planning our deaths." The Valerian ships were large and powerful. Each one was bigger than any human ship from 6 months ago. But the Eternal Fury was not like the old human ships. It was part of something new, something the aliens could not understand. "Activate the quantum web," Min-seok ordered. Across the human fleet, 50 ships suddenly began to move like they were one creature. The quantum web was Dr. Won-sik Lee's greatest creation. It connected every human ship's computer to every other ship, but let each captain still make their own decisions. They could think together while fighting separately. The Valerian ships fired their energy weapons. Bright green beams cut through space toward the human fleet. But the human ships moved in ways that seemed impossible. They dodged attacks that should have hit them. They fired back at targets they should not have been able to see. "How are they doing that?" the Valerian commander asked on the open channel. His voice was full of confusion and fear. Min-seok smiled. "We learned from watching you kill my brother. We learned that aliens fight like individuals, humans fight like family." The battle lasted 20 minutes. When it was over, all 15 Valerian ships were destroyed. Not a single human ship was even damaged. But the real surprise was still coming. Colonel Soo-young Lim stood in the drop pod with her phase Marines, watching the countdown timer. Her team was about to test humanity's most secret weapon. 30 seconds to phase drop, she announced to her squad. "Remember, we are not just soldiers today. We are ghosts." The pod launched from the Eternal Fury toward Kepler Station. As it got close to the station's shields, something amazing happened. The pod and everyone inside it began to fade like they were becoming transparent. "Phase technology active," Soo-young said into her radio. "We are going through their shields. Now!" The Valerians watched in horror as the human drop pod passed through their energy shields like they were not there. It landed inside their station, in the middle of their command center. Soo-young and her phase Marines stepped out of the pod. Their special armor let them walk through walls for short periods of time. They appeared inside the station like ghosts becoming real. The Valerian soldiers tried to shoot them, but the phase Marines walked through the energy blasts. They moved through walls, appeared behind enemy positions, and took control of the station in less than 10 minutes. "This is impossible," the Valerian station commander said as Soo-young's team captured him. "No technology can do this." "Human technology can," Soo-young replied. "We built it after you murdered our ambassador. We built it to make sure you never feel safe again." News of the Battle of Kepler Station spread across the galaxy in hours. Alien leaders could not believe what they were hearing. Humans had new ships that fought like they shared one mind. Humans had soldiers who could walk through walls. How was this possible? Dr. Won-sik Lee was working late in his laboratory on Luna Station when Admiral Hyunwoo Choi called him. "Doctor, the aliens are asking how we developed so much new technology so quickly," the Admiral said. "What should I tell them?" Won-sik smiled. He was tired from 6 months of almost no sleep, but he was proud of what his team had accomplished. "Tell them we were not sitting quietly while they planned our genocide," he said. "Tell them humans are very good at building things when we are motivated, especially when we are motivated by revenge." The truth was that humans had been working on advanced technology for years, but they had hidden it. They wanted to appear peaceful and non-threatening. The alien attack on the colonies had given them permission to stop hiding. Commander Yoonji Bae was testing another new weapon on her. Stealth frigate Silent Vengeance. Her ship could become invisible to alien sensors, and she was using it to hunt Valerian supply ships. "Target acquired," her weapons officer reported. "Valerian transport ship carrying weapons to their forward base." "Good," Yoonji said. "Record, a message for transmission after we attack." She looked into the camera. Her face was calm, but her eyes were angry. "This is Commander Yoonji Bae of the Human Defense Force. The ship we are about to destroy was carrying weapons meant to kill human families. This attack is for Ambassador Minho Park, who died trying to make peace with you. This attack is for the 50,000 humans you murdered while pretending to negotiate. You wanted war. Now you have it. The Silent Vengeance fired its new plasma torpedoes. The Valerian transport ship exploded in a ball of blue fire. Yunji's message was broadcast on all alien frequencies, so everyone could hear it. Similar attacks were happening across Valerian space. Human ships appeared from nowhere, destroyed their targets, and vanished again. The aliens began to realize that humans had been preparing for this war much longer than they thought. On the Valerian capital world, Chancellor Vrex met with his military advisors. The same alien who had killed Ambassador Park was now facing the consequences of his actions. "How many ships have we lost?" he asked. "Over 300 in the past week," his naval commander replied. "The humans are not trying to hold territory. They are just destroying everything they can find." "What about our allies? Are the Keth Coalition and Thraxian Republic helping?" "They are too busy defending their own systems. The humans are attacking everyone who supported our alliance." Vrex felt fear growing in his chest. This was not how the war was supposed to go. Humans were supposed to be outnumbered and desperate. They were supposed to surrender quickly. Instead, they were fighting like every battle was personal. "Sir," another advisor said carefully, "maybe we should try to negotiate. Maybe we can end this before it gets worse." Vrex's forearms trembled with rage. "Negotiate? With humans? After what we did to their ambassador?" "Sir, they are winning. Our losses are getting worse every day. Their technology is more advanced than our intelligence report said." But Vrex was too proud to admit his mistake. "Send more ships. Attack more human colonies. Show them that we can hurt them too." It was exactly the wrong decision. When news of the new attacks on human colonies reached Earth, President Dong-hyuk Jang called an emergency meeting. "They are escalating," he told his advisors. "They think they can scare us into stopping." General Seokjin-oh looked at the tactical reports. "Sir, we have been holding back. We have weapons we have not used yet. Maybe it is time to show them what total war really means." President Jang nodded. "Approved. Show them that every human they kill makes us more dangerous, not less." The message went out to every human ship and station, gloves off. Within days, the aliens learned what human technology could really do when humans stopped trying to be nice. They learned that making humans angry was the worst mistake they could possibly make, and they were about to learn that the war was just getting started. The emergency meeting took place on Nexus Prime, the oldest space station in the galaxy. Representatives from 12 alien species sat around a circular table that had been used for peace talks for 1,000 years. Today, they were planning something that had never been done before, a total alliance against one species. Chancellor Vrex of the Valerian Empire looked tired and scared. In just 3 months, humans had destroyed half of his fleet and taken control of 6 star systems. The other alien leaders looked just as worried. "We underestimated them," said High Commander Zalak of the Keth Coalition. His blue skin was pale with fear. "Human technology is decades ahead of what our spies reported. Their ships fight like they share one brain. Their soldiers can walk through walls." "It gets worse," said General Thokul of the Thraxian Republic. The big red-scaled alien showed footage on the main screen. "Watch this." The video showed a human attack on a Thraxian mining world. Human ships appeared from hyperspace, destroyed all the military targets in minutes, then broadcast a message to the planet below. "People of Thrax 7, said a human commander on the screen. "We are not your enemies. We are here to free you from the Thraxian Republic that treats you as slaves. Any who wish to leave this world and live free may come with us. Any who wish to stay and fight for freedom may join us. We offer protection to all who want it." The alien leaders watched in horror as thousands of Thraxian workers left their jobs and joined the human fleet. They had been treated badly by their own government for years, and now they saw humans as liberators, not conquerors. "They are not just fighting us," General Thokul said. "They are turning our own people against us." Supreme Counselor Myax of the Zanari Collective spoke for the first time. Her species was known for being peaceful and wise. This is our fault. We created this situation when we chose to support the attack on their ambassador. Now they believe we are all their enemies. Because we are, Chancellor Vrex shouted. Humans are a plague. They spread too fast, take too much space, and now they have proven they are too dangerous to live. Have they? Miax asked quietly. Look at what they are actually doing. They attack military targets, not civilians. They free slaves instead of making them. They offer protection instead of demanding tribute. Maybe we are the problem, not them. The room exploded in angry voices. Half the aliens agreed with Vrex that humans had to be destroyed. The other half were starting to think that maybe they had picked a fight with the wrong species. High Commander Zelak stood up to restore order. It does not matter who was right or wrong. What matters is that humans are winning. And if we do not stop them, they will control the entire galaxy. So what do you suggest? Asked Ambassador Corvex of the hegemony states. Total alliance. Every ship, every soldier, every weapon we have. We combine all our forces and crush humanity before they get any stronger. The debate lasted for hours. In the end, fear won. 13 alien species signed the Galactic Defense Alliance Charter. Together they had over 30,000 warships and could field armies of millions of soldiers. They thought numbers would be enough. They were wrong. Supreme Commander Kyung-ho Yoon stood in the command center of Terra's Wrath, a massive mobile space station that served as humanity's war headquarters. Around him, dozens of officers coordinated humanity's multi-front war against the new alien alliance. Sir, intelligence reports that the aliens have formed their alliance, reported his aide. 30,000 ships, maybe more. Good, Kyung-ho said with a cold smile. Now we know exactly who our enemies are. No more guessing, no more wondering who we can trust. They made it simple for us. Dr. Mi-Jin Cho, humanities expert on alien psychology, approached the commander's platform. Sir, I have been studying their cultural patterns. This alliance will not last. Too many of these species hate each other almost as much as they hate us. How long do we have before it falls apart? Maybe 6 months if we apply the right pressure. But sir, there is something else. My analysis shows that many of their subject peoples are ready to rebel. The Thraxians rule over 15 slave species. The Valerians control 12 conquered worlds. The Keth coalition has been oppressing their own lower castes for centuries. Kyung-ho's eyes lit up. Cultural warfare? Exactly. We do not fight them as conquerors. We fight them as liberators. Every species they have oppressed becomes our potential ally. Make it happen. Across the galaxy, human forces began a new kind of campaign. Instead of just destroying alien military forces, they offered freedom to anyone who wanted it. General Young J. Kim led the liberation of the Altair system, where the Thraxian Republic had enslaved 3 different species for mining operations. His fleet arrived and immediately broadcast in multiple languages. People of Altair, we are humans. We know you have been told we are monsters. We know you have been told we want to destroy you. This is a lie. We want to offer you something your masters never have, the right to choose your own future. The response was incredible. Entire worker populations rose up against their Thraxian overseers. Local security forces switched sides. In less than a week, 3 star systems declared independence from the Thraxian Republic and asked for human protection. Similar revolts were happening across alien space. The Galactic Defense Alliance found themselves fighting a war on dozens of fronts, not against human forces, but against their own oppressed peoples. This is a disaster, Chancellor Vrex screamed at his military advisors. Half our empire is in revolt. Our own citizens are joining the humans. Sir, maybe we should consider negotiation, one advisor suggested carefully. With who? The humans will never forgive us for killing their ambassador. The rebels want us dead. Our allies are too busy dealing with their own uprisings to help us. The situation got worse when Captain Dong Ho Han led a human fleet into Valerian core space. Instead of attacking immediately, He positioned his ships in orbit around Valerian Prime and broadcast a message to the planet below. Citizens of the Valerian Empire, I am Captain Han of the Human Defense Force. 6 months ago, your leader, Chancellor, Frex, murdered our ambassador during peace talks. He thought this would scare us into surrender. He was wrong. The message continued for 10 minutes, explaining exactly what had happened during the fake peace negotiations. Many Valerians had never heard the true story. They had been told that humans attacked first. We did not come here to conquer you, Captain Han concluded. We came here to show you that your government lies to you. They started this war through treachery and murder. If you want peace, you must choose new leaders. If you want war, we will continue fighting until you do. Then the human fleet just waited. On Valerian Prime, riots began in the streets. Citizens demanded answers from their government. How could their leaders start a war through assassination? How could they lie about who attacked first? Chancellor, Frex tried to send his military to stop the riots, but half his soldiers refused to fight their own people. Some even joined the protesters. Similar scenes played out across the galaxy. The Galactic Defense Alliance was falling apart from the inside, and human forces had barely fired a shot, but the aliens were not finished. In desperation, they made a decision that would change everything. If we cannot defeat their military, High Commander Zelak said at an emergency alliance meeting, then we attack their civilians. We make them choose between victory and the lives of their families. That is genocide, Supreme Counselor Miax protested. We cannot cross that line. They crossed it first by turning our own people against us, Zelak replied. Total war means total war. The vote was close, but fear won again. The Galactic Defense Alliance approved attacks on human civilian targets. The first attack hit New Busan, a peaceful farming world with 2 million human colonists. Alien warships bombarded the planet from orbit, killing hundreds of thousands of innocent people. When news of the attack reached Terra's Wrath, Supreme Commander Kyung-Ho Yoon felt his blood turn to ice. Sir? His aide asked carefully. What are your orders? Kyung-Ho looked around the command center. Every human officer was staring at him, waiting to see how humanity would respond to the mass murder of their families. Send a message to Earth, he said quietly. Tell President Jiang that the aliens just made their final mistake. He turned to face the tactical display showing alien positions across the galaxy. They wanted to see what total war looks like. Now, they will learn. The galaxy was about to discover that there was a big difference between making humans angry and making humans furious. And humanity had just become very, very furious. The news from New Busan reached Earth in the middle of the night. President Dongyuk Jang was woken up by his aide, who was crying as she delivered the report. 2 million civilians, sir. Men, women, children. They bombed hospitals, schools, farms, everything. President Jiang sat in silence for a long moment. Then he picked up his secure phone and made a call that would end the war. Admiral Choi, this is the President. Activate Operation Final Justice. Use everything we have. I want every alien military installation in the galaxy destroyed within 1 week. Sir, that will require our ultimate weapons. Are you sure? They killed our families, Admiral. I have never been more sure of anything in my life. Across human space, the largest fleet in history began to move. Admiral Sun Ho Kwan commanded over 4,000 ships, including the new Reality-class battleships that carried humanity's most devastating weapons. The fleet's destination was Nexus Prime, the ancient space station where the alien alliance had been formed. If humanity could take it, they would control the center of galactic civilization. But first they would send a message. Captain Ji-Won Oh piloted the experimental battleship Ambassador's Promise toward the Valerian capital system. Her ship was named after Minho Park, and it carried a weapon that could change the nature of space itself. Captain, we have reached the edge of Valerian space, her navigator reported. Their entire remaining fleet is waiting for us. Over 500 ships. Ji-Won looked at the tactical display. The Valerians had pulled every warship they had left to defend their homeworld. It was an impressive sight. Massive dreadnoughts, fast cruisers, and thousands of fighter craft. It would not be enough. Charge the reality ripper, she ordered. In the ship's core, humanity's ultimate weapon began to power up. Dr. Wansik Lee had designed it based on principles that most aliens could not even understand. It could tear holes in space-time itself, creating gravitational anomalies that would crush anything nearby. Captain, incoming transmission from the Valerian fleet, her communications officer reported. Chancellor Vrex appeared on the main screen. The alien leader looked desperate and afraid. Human Captain, I offer you one final chance for negotiation. We can end this war now. No more death, no more destruction. Jiwan's face was stone cold. You had your chance for negotiation, Chancellor. It was 6 months ago when you murdered Ambassador Park during peace talks. You chose war. Now you get to see what human war really looks like. Please, we made a mistake. We can make peace now. The time for peace was before you killed 2 million civilians on New Busan. The time for peace was before you targeted our families. You taught us that the only way to be safe in this galaxy is to make sure our enemies can never threaten us again. Jiwan cut the transmission and turned to her weapons officer. Fire. The reality ripper activated. Space itself began to twist and bend around the Valerian fleet. Their ships were pulled into gravitational whirlpools that crushed them like tin cans. In less than 5 minutes, 500 alien warships simply ceased to exist. The weapon was so powerful that it created a permanent distortion in space that would serve as a warning to future generations. Anyone who passed through that system would see the twisted starlight and know that humanity had been there. While Captain Jiwan was destroying the Valerian fleet, the main human armada was approaching Nexus Prime. The ancient station was defended by ships from all 13 species of the Galactic Defense Alliance. It was the largest space battle in galactic history. Admiral Sunho Kwon stood on the bridge of his flagship Terra's Revenge, watching enemy forces move to intercept his fleet. Sir, we count over 8,000 enemy ships, his tactical officer reported. They have formed a defensive sphere around the station. Good. That means we can destroy them all at once. Admiral Kwon opened a channel to all human ships. This is Admiral Kwon to all vessels. The aliens thought they could scare us by murdering our families. They thought we would surrender when we saw how outnumbered we were. Today, we show them what happens when you threaten humanity's survival. The battle began with a massive exchange of energy weapons fire. The space around Nexus Prime lit up like a star as thousands of ships fought for control of the galaxy's future. But humanity had learned from every previous battle. Their ships moved with perfect coordination through the quantum web. Their phase. Marines appeared inside enemy vessels. Their advanced weapons tore through alien defenses like they were made of paper. Within 2 hours, the Galactic Defense Alliance fleet was destroyed. Admiral Kwon's ships surrounded Nexus Prime. The station's commanders tried to surrender, but Kwon had specific orders. This station has been the center of galactic civilization for 1,000 years, he announced on all frequencies. It was here that 13 species chose to ally against humanity. It was here that they planned genocide against our people. Today, it becomes a monument to the consequences of that choice. Human engineers boarded the station and began installing something new in its central chamber, a holographic memorial to Ambassador Minho Park and all the humans who had died in the war. The memorial would broadcast continuously on all alien communication channels, so no one would ever forget what had started this conflict. But the real victory was not military, it was what happened next. Diplomat Haejin Song, who had been Minho's student, stood before representatives of 50 different species in the station's main assembly hall. Many were former members of the Galactic Defense Alliance. Others were species that had remained neutral. All of them were afraid. People of the galaxy, Haejin began. 6 months ago, your leaders made a choice. They chose to solve their fears through treachery and murder. They killed our ambassador during peace talks. They attacked our colonies. They formed alliances to commit genocide against humanity. The alien representatives listened in silence. They had all heard the recordings of what really happened during the peace negotiations. They knew their governments had lied to them. Today you have a different choice, Haejin continued. You can choose to build a galaxy where no species has to live in fear. A galaxy where disagreements are settled through negotiation. not assassination. A galaxy where the strong protect the weak instead of exploiting them. She gestured to the memorial of Ambassador Park that glowed softly in the center of the chamber. My teacher died believing in that galaxy. Millions of humans died fighting for that galaxy. Today, you can choose to help us build it. The response was overwhelming. Species after species stood up to renounce their former governments and ask for human protection. The slave worlds that had rebelled during the war formally requested to join a new galactic alliance based on freedom and equality. Even some former enemies joined. A group of Valerian colony worlds, disgusted by their government's war crimes, declared independence and asked for human friendship. Within weeks, the old galactic order was completely gone. In its place was something new, the Galactic Freedom Alliance with Earth as its capital and human principles as its foundation. Chancellor Vrex and the other war leaders were arrested and put on trial for war crimes. The evidence against them was overwhelming. Many were executed, others were sentenced to life in prison. But the most important moment came during the final ceremony on Nexus Prime. Captain Minseok Park, Minho's brother who had led the first attack, on Kepler Station, stood before the memorial to his dead sibling. Beside him were representatives from dozens of species, humans, former Valerian slaves, liberated Thraxian workers, and even some aliens who had opposed the war from the beginning. My brother believed that different species could live together in peace, Minseok said. The aliens who killed him believed that peace was impossible. Today, we know who was right. He looked around the chamber at the mixed crowd of humans and aliens. The galaxy is free to choose which vision it prefers going forward, but let everyone remember, there are consequences when you choose wrong. There are consequences when you break faith. There are consequences when you threaten human survival. His voice grew stronger. We did not want this war. We did not start this war, but we finished it, and we will finish any future war that threatens the innocent people of this galaxy, human or alien. The ceremony ended with the signing of the Park Accords, named after the murdered ambassador. The Accords established new laws for the galaxy. No species could attack another without cause. No government could oppress its own people. And any species that tried to commit genocide would face the combined forces of all free peoples. Humanity took its place not as conquerors, but as guardians. They had the strongest military in the galaxy, but they used it to protect others instead of ruling them. The war was over. The aliens had learned what happened when they underestimated human determination, and the galaxy was finally free. Years later, when alien children learned about the war in school, they would ask their teachers why their ancestors had been so foolish as to attack humanity during peace talks. The teachers would always give the same answer: because they did not understand that humans are most dangerous when they are trying to be nice. And they learned too late that making humans choose between peace and survival will always end the same way. Humanity would choose survival, and everyone else would have to live with the consequences.